So we've got General Towns versus General Tower, but I can't build any units. So that means no units from the Command Center, Supply Center, Barracks, War Factory, or Airfield. Ranger drops are fair game, including Rangers that spawn from destroyed US buildings, and the Chinooks that spawn from newly constructed supply centers are considered fair game. So those are the ground rules. Onto the battle. So right now we've got our power plant on the go here, and I've also gone for the approach of not using super weapons, so a little bit of a bonus challenge there as well. If I was using super weapons, the strat here would be to basically speed run through the tech tree to get a particle cannon as fast as possible, because we would want to destroy the propaganda center. So that's what I would be doing if I was using super weapons, but since we're not, I've gone for a different approach. I've gone for the same sort of strategy as if I was playing as China. So we've got 2 reactors. That's going to give us 32 power when it's fully upgraded. And then the dozer is going to build up the laser turrets near the nuke cannon. So just like in the Kwai vs Tau and the Fei vs Tau versions of this challenge, we're doing pretty much the same thing. Yep, so now that I got 3 laser turrets, the next part is I want to build my war factory. Now, with the war factory, I placed it next to one of my laser turrets, and I want to use the war factory a bit like a meat shield. So then the war factory will take some of those hits, then the laser turrets can pick off those battle masters and other enemy units. So that's why we're doing that. Now the next step is we want to send the dozer to where one of Tau's nuclear missiles are. So if you haven't seen the Kwai and Fei versions of this, we're basically setting up defense on that at that line where the nuke cannon was, then we're setting up more defense at the nuclear missile, and then we'll set up more defense up on that mountain there near where the resources and the oil derricks are. So it's quite a journey for our dozer here, but we need to do all of those things because we want to be able to build up the general points as fast as we can. We want to be able to hit rank 3 before the, the 9 to 10 minute mark. See, when you get to that point in the battle, that's when General Tau starts to make overlords and nuke cannons. And in a challenge where you can't build any units, it's very tricky to get past a nuke cannon. If you were doing it as towns though, you could make it work because the laser turrets are kind of overpowered and considered the best base defense in the game. So you could probably make it work if you were actually going up against the nuke cannons, but I don't want to be, which is why we're using those laser turrets to take out one of his nukes right now. Yep, so I'm happy with 2 laser turrets, but I noticed that my power is starting to go on me a little bit. So I'm building another power plant right behind my 2 laser turrets, hoping that that can keep me online should something happen. And pretty much we just want to keep building power plants when we see that the ones that are more forward are in danger here. So it's sort of a temporary deal going on here. So now that we've got rid of 1 nuke, that's going to give us a lot of general points to work with.
You will pay, General.
Yeah. Bring on the scaffolding.
Upgrade complete. Congratulations.
Yep, so there's our first promotion. So we got rank 2, now we've just got to get that rank 3. And we're approaching the 7-minute mark, so we've got a couple minutes to go before Tau starts busting out the overlords and nuke cannons. And yeah, we don't want to have to deal with that. Now the dozer, we're building laser turrets up on that mountain there. And reason why we're building laser turrets there specifically is because if you start building there, it actually triggers Tau into sending 2 helixes in that direction. And that's good for me because I can use the laser turrets to take out the helixes. But he doesn't do that once, he does it twice. So that means I'm going to get 4 helixes worth of EXP, and that's just going to give me that little bit closer to that rank 3. See, I was a little bit slow with the dozer, so I did take a little bit of damage there, but nothing too major. We're still, you know, fast with our dozer. If we were to go into red with the dozer, that would affect us a little bit. We probably would have to build an extra war factory to heal the damage that's done, but since we're about 2/3 health, I didn't worry about it too much.
Nukes. Maybe you want me to send you a clean pair of shorts now, huh?
Build anywhere. Getting to work.
Yep, and there goes the rank 3. So I went for level 2 A10 and the level 1 Ranger drop. Now the prop center is kind of a weak building. I haven't tested it. I probably could destroy it with a level 1 A10 potentially, but I kind of need the level 2 A10s for later on anyway to, oh, excuse me, destroy the war factories.
My village, General? Please, make yourself at home.
And here we go, and beautiful. And we got the Gatling cannon in the mix there too, which is good in case we want to send rangers or we send our dozer that way, for example. Very good. So now that that's out the way, I decided to bolster the defense and build another laser turret right next to the war factory on the other side. That's just so if Tau sends in battle masters from the other side on a different kind of angle, then we can deal with that pretty well as well.
Upgrade complete.
So here's my first mistake. The laser turrets that are built next to the nuke, I kind of built them in the wrong sort of angle. Now one's going to take all the damage and the other's not really helping out here. So we are eventually going to lose those laser turrets, but it's not too big of an issue because we already got what we wanted. We got that rank 3, we got the prop center out of the game. So now it's really just battle masters, helixes, and red guards, tank hunters. I think that's all he can attack me with by this stage.
Only the beginning, General. The beginning of the end.
The building is up.
General, you can have that oil derrick, but it will not help you stop me.
All finished.
Upgrade complete.
Want to make some improvements?
Alright, now we're just using our dozer to keep building up power plants. Like I was saying before, the power plant that's where the laser turrets are, near the nuke, that's eventually going to get destroyed, which means I'm going to lose 16 power there. And we want to make sure that we stay online for as long as possible, because we don't want to get into a situation where we get attacked by battle masters and then we go offline on power. That would be bad. The battle masters are still strong, even if it's just one battle master, it can still be a threat.
Congratulations, General. You have been promoted.
We have their building.
I got that rank 4 as well. I didn't really need to do anything else with the general power, so I just upgraded to level 3 A10s, which is fine. We could use the level 3 A10s on war factories or airfields or anything like that. It's still it's just going to be a case where it's more likely to destroy the thing that I want it to destroy.
Are you ready for more, General? we have found some supplies. Soon, we will control all of the resources. Melt! Everything must melt!
Yep, so going with the A10 on the War Factory, pretty standard. With General Tao, he's not going to rebuild any of his buildings, so we don't have to worry about any more Battle Masters from that War Factory specifically. We still have the one on the right to contend with. So the trade-off to destroying the War Factories in the first place means that we are going to slow down the rate of EXP we get from destroyed units. But since we're rank 4, we do have access to the Ranger drop and the level 3 A10s already. So it's not that big a deal. We're just missing out on the Fuel Air Bomb and the Spectre gunship for just that little bit longer, but I think it's definitely worth it. Because we don't want to have a situation where we either run out of power or Tao does something so unexpected that he turns the tables on me.
Upgrading to new supply lines.
It looks like a nuclear winter this year, General. How long were you planning on staying in my base, General? Maybe I should prepare a bunk for you.
Yep, finally lost that first turret because of that bad placement, and Tao has launched his first nuke. So the first nuke is always going to go for the resource pile that's to the north. So that's why you shouldn't build anything there, or you sell off your stuff before the nuke actually hits. So if you do either of those two things, then you won't actually lose out in the long run.
On the go. Don't want any trouble here. Advanced training is complete, sir. Laying the foundation. Keep 'em busy.
This is only the beginning, General. The beginning of the end.
Exterminator has arrived. They're attacking our base.
Yep, so I got my dozer all nice and repaired for the next round of Battle Masters that are gonna come. We don't want the dozer to die, even at this point. We're still in very good standing here, but we lose the dozer and Tao fires off a bunch of nukes and it hits our, our main lines of defense or our power, then it's gonna be very hard to fix that without no dozer. And now we've got the Rangers flashbang in the buildings. We want to get that rank 5, but we also want to decrease the amount of resistance for when we do send in those A10s and fuel air bombs later on. So now we're playing a bit of a game with this nuke cannon here. So we're just doing a few shots with the Rangers and then we're running off. We're just going to keep repeatedly doing that, hoping that the laser turrets can get within range. See, because the lasers killed off that helix, it was able to get a few shots off on that nuke cannon, which really speeds up the process. Now he's got a Battle Master, which is going to die, and that's going to do another shot on the nuke cannon, and the Rangers finish it off. And the nuke cannons do give you quite a few points worth of EXP. So now I just got that rank 5. So I went for fuel air bomb, Spectre gunship, and the level 2 Ranger drop. And immediately going for the Moab upgrade, so we're going to hold off on using the fuel air bomb because we want to wait for that upgrade to happen, then use it. And now I lost my other turret position next to the nuclear missile, so got to be careful because we're eventually going to lose that power plant. So A10 going to hit the war factory. So no more vehicles for General Tao, and the Spectre gunship we're going for is base defenses, so that Gatling cannon and the bunker, because what I was planning to do was I wanted to use one of my Ranger drops on the left side of his base, because that was pretty much clear of all base defenses and units.
Rally point
Lay the
confirmed.
foundation.
Glow!
Make my
The
own.
wonderful glow! Can you not see it, General?
Upgrade
Loud
complete.
and clear. Bring on the scaffolding.
And now with the Moab, just trying to aim it carefully. I wanted to be able to destroy the airfield, but also get in quite a few of those overlords there, because the overlords can be a
Warning,
threat
nuclear missile
to the
launched.
ranges that we drop.
Soon you will know the glory of my nuclear arsenal.
Always ready. Loud and clear.
Our base is being attacked.
Upgrade complete.
The end is near, General.
That one's done.
Need a point man. Ready for action. Need a point man. Army's elite. Meet your new owner.
Warning,
for action.
nuclear missile
On
launched.
task. Pin him down.
This is only the beginning, General. The
Yep,
beginning
unfortunately I
of the
did get
end.
nuked on that mountain. I did lose my oil derrick, but doesn't really matter at this point. We do have over 60 grand in cash, and yeah, we did lose quite a few rangers from that. I was really trying to save them, but it just wasn't fast enough. And we captured the radiation bunker and a couple of his reactors. I was originally going to use those rangers to destroy the Gatling cannon whilst it was distracted shooting the bunker, but it didn't have enough HP to really make that work, so that's why I decided not to go in for the attack.
They're attacking our base.
On the go.
Warning, nuclear missile launched.
No nukes? Who could think of such a
Rally
thing?
point confirmed.
Now
Yep,
your
so another
victory is a glow
bit of
great.
bad news for me getting hit at my front line, but
Army's elite.
by this point he's got no war factory, he's got no airfield, he can only hit me with infantry by this point, and even a couple of laser turrets can be enough to
Unit
destroy
lost.
whatever infantry attacks that he busts out on me. And he was about to do the artillery strike on me too. He does go a little bit overkill sometimes with his attacks. Now, I did notice that my reactor was getting blown to pieces by the tank hunters, but I didn't want to attack because of that Gatling cannon. I didn't want to risk losing my rangers. I was like, you know what, we can lose it because we're so good on power right now. If you look at my power bar, we're basically using little more than half of what we got, which is great, but I guess some of that is because we did lose a whole bunch by the nuclear missiles, but we don't really need those laser turrets anymore because of the lack of attacks that Tau's going to send my way by this point.
You should fear.
Search and destroy.
Unit lost.
Beautiful.
Heading out. Search and
See,
destroy.
a whole bunch of these rangers coupled with the flashbangs, really effective against other infantry. Even if you're going up against like Dr. Thrax and his Toxin rebels, it still works very, very well.
Rally point confirmed.
And nearly got ran over.
Taking new position.
Made the supply truck pay for that one.
Arms in the air.
But yeah, the defense is now gone, so now we can pretty much go for the capture on his other stuff. We can also destroy the other bunkered buildings with the flashbangs. We can go for the troop crawlers. We can do a lot of stuff here. See, you don't really need super weapons to beat Tau. You don't need to build anything to beat Tau. He's that easy a general to go up against. It's mainly the fact that he doesn't rebuild his stuff. That's what really kills the challenge. If he was able to rebuild his stuff, I bet you he would pose a much bigger threat, especially with all those nuke cannons.
Time to put on your lead
Our
underwear.
base is being attacked. Always prepared. Heading out. Always prepared. Clock
Yep, so I got a new batch of Rangers, using the dozer to clear the way for the Rangers to get through on the capture.
Need a point, man? Building is ours.
And I decided to try and capture one of his nukes. Honestly, I think that was a bad call,
We have their ready for action.
because by this point, we may as well just try and shut his power down. I think I was probably just trying to flex, going off what I was trying to do by destroying all of his stuff, but yeah, probably not my best choice to take over that nuke.
Remember, don't look directly at the glass, General.
Always prepared. Ready for action.
So yeah, I noticed my Moab is ready, and I was trying to pick a target here. So I could have gone for power plants, but I decided to aim for his garrison buildings and his bunker instead. Now, with aiming for power, by this stage of the game, I can't exactly shut him down because of what he's got. He's got 3 nukes and a couple of Gatling cannons, plus a speaker tower. So that should be roughly 37 power in consumption, and he'd only need 3 reactors to stay online. So he'd still have enough reactors to stay online if I hit the power plants with the Moab. So that's why I didn't do that. So I was trying to do a little bit of math as I was picking my targets here.
Rally point confirmed. Exterminator has arrived. He's on the
Unit
target
lost.
list. On the go.
How you expect to fight
He's on
this,
the
General?
target list. Raid in progress. Fully engaged.
Unit lost.
Rally point confirmed. Providing fire support. Taking new position. Raid in progress. Providing fire support.
Objective confirmed.
Special forces here. Exploiting
Your
target.
weapons are no match for
Raid
my
in
power.
progress. He's on the target list. Rally point confirmed.
How are we doing, sir?
Ready for action. This
Wanna
supply
make some
file is done.
improvements? Ooh, can't do that.
Need a point, man? Providing fire support. Heading out. Taking new
Melt!
position.
Everything must melt!
Army's elite. He's on the target list. Enemy identified. Providing fire support. Search and destroy.
Yep, so I decided to go for A10 on the middle power plant. I was thinking if I can get the middle one, I might be able to destroy the other 2 at the same time. That's what I was going for in the targeting. So we're using the Rangers to capture Tao's stuff, including the nuclear missile. We don't really need to do that, but again, I think I was just going for the flex there by trying to get rid of all the nukes.
Cleaning house.
It really, really what I should have done was keep the nuke intact, and then if I can capture enough of his power plants, then it could shut him down and we could deal with the Gatling cannons while he's offline.
The building is coming
My
together.
command center! No!
So he's got 3 left, and if I kept the 3rd nuke intact, we could have captured that reactor to the far right, and that would mean that he'd have 1 reactor which is 18 power, and then the consumption, he'd be consuming about 36 worth of power, so he would have definitely gone offline by this point.
prepared. Taking charge. Special forces here. Need a point, man?
The end is near, General.
Rally point confirmed.
So, since this is how I decided to do the battle,
You're having a meltdown.
I ended up trying to capture the last nuke and the last one of the last reactors.
Nukes.
See, another thing I could have done is I could have just captured the radiation bunker instead of that nuke, and then the Gatling cannon could have targeted the bunker, giving my rangers enough time to pick off the Gatling cannon. So yeah, just some silly little mistakes, but because Tau is so easy, it doesn't really matter all that much. It's just a matter of do we want to do this again but faster.
Ready for action. We'll take it from here. Always prepared. Meet your new owner. Special forces here.
Soon your base will glow like the sun.
The building is
And yeah, I tried my best to try and pick off the Gatling cannons with the Rangers, but yeah, I didn't have enough time to pick it off, so I lost a bunch of Rangers down south. I attempted it with the northern Rangers as well, but again, no such luck. So yeah, we did lose quite a bit in that one.
He's on the target list.
The northern side of things, my Rangers were pretty much all Vet 3, so they were all going to do a whole bunch of damage, and I noticed that the Gatling cannon that's down south is picking off my own reactor. I could have used my Rangers to destroy it. I've also got my Spectre gunship, which I do use, and I've also got the Moab that's on the way. So by this point, we've pretty much won the battle. So this is how I beat General Tau using General Towns, not building any units, and also not using any super weapons. So if you want to see any more challenges like this, much harder than this, I do have a playlist if you want to check that one out. If you enjoyed this one, feel free to like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Victorious.
Another moment, and I would have reduced you to dust.